Say hello to Celeborn, everyone. Now, this is something that I, and I believe a couple of others, have been calling since Season 1. If you look at the date on this post, this was almost 2 years ago. Now, while certain elements of my theory have changed, the core stays the same. So let's see what I said 2 years ago after whatever episode it was for Season 1. How I think trop riders will have Adar turn out to be Celeborn. He left to go fight orcs and ended up becoming the father of orcs like Wesley became the Dread Pirate Roberts. It's a mantle, not a being. Her not recognizing him will be because he was so corrupted that she didn't see his light, but boy howdy, he'll see hers when she walks through a field of flowers, and it'll rescue him from the darkness, or at least somewhat. She'll realize she needs a mithril dagger to finish purifying him, and she will plunge it into his chest, because even if it kills him, at least he'll die as an elf, and she's willing to take that chance. Because, she loves him. It's such a sacrifice for her. It's so stunning. So brave. It doesn't matter if it makes absolutely zero sense. They need that shock value. Now, obviously, she isn't going to be plunging a dagger into anyone's heart, because that's really hard to do when you don't have a dagger. At least not in dagger form. Remember, Finrod's dagger is now inside of the rings. And as we saw in episode 4, Nenya can heal stuff spontaneously. So now she has the mithril dagger, but instead of plunging it into his heart, it's going to be able to purify him when she touches him. How inconvenient that she gave it to Elrond so he could run all the way back to Gil-galad with it, and now she can't purify him. Oh, shucks golly gee willikers. This is the most soap opera writing that I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I remember watching soap operas with my grandma. It was Days of Our Lives, As the World Turns, and another one that I can't remember. But the amnesia trope is such a daytime soap opera thing to do.
I've been where you are right now. I remember all too well how I felt when Roman came back and I found out the family that I thought was mine belonged to another man.
They think they're being so clever and so ingenious, and they can be like, look, Celeborn was here the whole time. Take that, haters. We absolutely didn't destroy Tolkien's lore or bastardize it in any way. We're just smarter than you. Celeborn has been here the entire time. He was right there in front of you. You weren't smart like us to see it. You couldn't tell that he was there. You had no idea. All these haters who said Celeborn can't be dead. Guess what? You just didn't realize it was him. He was actually in the War of Wrath, but forgot who he was, and so he became the father of orcs. Because Tolkien never said he didn't become the father of orcs. He said that he fought in the War of Wrath, and then he and Galadriel were separated for a time. See? We're clever, we're smart, we're filling in those gaps the way that Tolkien would have. No, if Tolkien wanted to do that, then he would have written it. The man was very intentional with his words. This is absolutely horrific and ridiculous. So, it's probably exactly what's going to happen. Adar is going to be Celeborn. He's going to get purified by Nenya.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
He's going to apologize for all of the horrible things that he has done by helping create the orcs. She's going to tell him that it's okay, we all make mistakes, and never bring up that she essentially cheated on him with Sauron and almost became Sauron's queen. Never mind any of that, because, the two were equally bad, obviously. And then they're going to get to Eregion, and they're going to sack Eregion, the stronghold of the elves, because that's where Sauron is. So they would rather see one city fall than Sauron rise. I can hear that line coming out of this stupid-ass show. So they're going to help sack Eregion. Or, when he comes to, because, they have a similar enemy, they'll be at Eregion. He'll remember that he's Celeborn, and it's going to be because he sees someone else.
The light caught your hair. For a moment, you seemed her perfect likeness.
Whose likeness?
Why, Lady Galadriel's, of course.
Now I know what you're thinking. Lady G, that's insane, that's crazy, it's stupid. Her name isn't even Celbrian. Why wouldn't they just say her name? Well, you forget that girl boss Galadriel had to run off and revenge her brother. Not her husband, but her brother. And of course, it's hard to do that if you have a tottering toddler behind you, even an elven tottering toddler. And so why not leave her in what should be the most secure place where your High King isn't going to know, nobody needs to know. You trust Grandma Brimbor with her, and she'll grow up safe in an elvish community. Nobody will know who she is. She doesn't even know who she is. And this is where Elrond and her are going to fall in love, and their story will connect up. And it's just so respectful of Tolkien's canon, I could cry. No, not true at all, obviously. But they're still going to attempt this because they have to, because these threads have to come together. So, yes, I believe there is a very, very strong possibility that Mirandial, or whatever her name is going to turn out to be Celbrian, because that's all these writers know how to do. Look, it's not who you thought. Surprise! That's all they have. They are a one-trick pony, and it's not a very good trick. Or they're not very good ponies. Or probably both. Regardless, they need to go find Bill, because he was a good pony. And then they should have a conversation with somebody who actually knows Tolkien's lore. Like, I don't know, Tom Shippey? Just a thought. Because this is absolutely atrocious. It's so bad, so far-fetched, so insane. It's probably exactly what's going to happen. If you care about anything else that happened in episode 5, there wasn't much. The pseudo-son stand-in for Isildur, because Elendil believes Isildur is dead, gets stabbed in the back after he lets the bad guy who just tried to kill him and is wiping out the faithful go. Stabbed in the back. Shocked, not shocked. And Disa chases a rock down a hallway and wakes up the Balrog. And Doran gets his princely necklace inheritance back. And then they show off the doors inside of Eregion. How that works, I have no idea. But that's all you missed. Like I said, it wasn't much. Hopefully you're sane and not actually watching this show. If you are, you have my sympathies, but those are my theories, one from season 1 and the other after watching episode 5 of season 2. Let me know what you think. Am I way off base, or is there some merit here? Now remember, this is the same company that took a pitchfork and turned it on its side to make it a map instead of just a symbol. Because brilliant! Even I didn't think that they were actually going to do that. And then they did. So bear that in mind when you're making your decision down below. I appreciate every single one of you. As always, much love. God bless. Godspeed. And I will talk to you all later.
When the light caught your hair, for a moment you seemed her perfect likeness.
Whose likeness?
Why, Lady Galadriel's, of course.